Hello, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, early morning here, and I think it's a no sleep season for me. I slept late and woke up early, charting and stuffs for the new opportunities. Yesterday, I wanted, if you remember, I mentioned that Ethereum is looking good, and I mentioned that it's forming a vertical accumulation, a series of higher highs and higher lows will be very nice to along, honestly speaking, and I was actually expecting it to give us a very good retest of this order block that we have around 2600, and from here, I mean, I just wanted it to have a series of higher highs, higher lows, to take out these lows and take a liquidity and then probably run up. Would have been very nice, but simply decided to push up and just printed a very good 10% move. One thing I was very clear that yes, this has to long, and we should not be shorting it, even though the harmonic suggested that we should be shorting it, but no, I mean the price action suggested that we should be pumping, and we literally pulled a 10.5% move on an upside practically over the night, which is good. Currently, ETH is at resistance, as you can see from the Hartum time frame. Yes, we are at a resistance right now. This was the zone that we break down previously in August 2024, and we backtested these levels in August itself, and then for the second time we are testing these levels again now. So I don't expect it to probably flip it in just one go. There has to be a very good accumulation from here in 2700 basically. So I think we just have to wait a little bit, but in case if it just flips, it's okay. We simply will be going market, buying it, and with our stops under 2600. This is where we're going to buy, and the target would be still 26 to 27% move on an upside till 3584 for 786 Fibonacci levels. Might even look for some breakout around 3650, but that would be nice. So practically still we have good opportunities coming in. So right now we are at a resistance, which is something you need to be very careful, because we are at a very heavy resistance, guys. You don't normally buy the resistance, you wait for it to flip and then probably long, but the volume is really good, which itself is tells me that clearly that it is simply wants to break this. I mean, it just wants to break and flip it. That's what it tells me. And I think if you really want to continue upside, I mean, this is how, I mean, we just don't have to lose 2700 at any cost, and that is where we will be bidding slightly above 2700, which will be around 2715 to 2713. That's where we're going to bid. And why do I think likely we are going to push up air and pump it up at least to the minimum levels of 3050, and not if 3600 in one go. We might do something like this as well. I mean, because there after a wave one, there has to be wave two, clearly. So what we might do is eventually, from the ETH Bitcoin perspective, because Ethereum is at resistance, ETH BTC is also under the resistance. So what we might do right now is slight pullback, 2796 maybe, or simply push from here to the breaker block of 2928, and maybe even to $3,000 levels, come back down and then retest 2007. That's going to be like a $300 range, and would be very interesting then at that point of time. So I would be looking to short ETH around these levels, even though it looks great. I completely agree, but I mean, this is a $300 short. Why do we miss it? So if we are bullish, we're gonna do something like this. We're gonna flip it, chop, hold, and then we're looking for an impulsive move on an upside. But if you're bearish, then we will be looking for a retest like this, and then we're simply gonna push one more time before we simply break down. So that's what the Hartum time frame tells me. Looking to the first of all, let's check the USD DOM, guys, which is something that I found it. So on the H4, this is the 4 hours time frame. I mean, if you look at the 4 hours time frame, we are very much in the oversold territory, basically. Very much in the oversold. This is the green line where I have mentioned basically that normally what happens after we go to this oversold territory. What happens? I mean, look at it. We did it in October, we did it in October itself twice, and now we are doing it in November again. So practically this is the third time in 2 months we are doing it. And in September itself, yes, September also we did it, similar thing. So practically September, October, November, we did it like, many times. What happens next? Because we are literally in a very big oversold territory on the USD DOM. So I have just started, I wanted to check what exactly happens after that. What comes to my notice is, yes, we are not going to probably pump immediately. Normally what happens is we go for a small push, like 1%, max 2%, and then probably dump more like 6%, 5 to 6%. And then after that, we'll be pumping up 9 to 10%. Every damn time it has happened. Every damn. In September itself, this is where the RSI was oversold. And then we had a slight move up for like a bearish retest of 5.5%, if you remember this Fibonacci levels. And then we started dumping back down to like 5% from the levels where the RSI oversold, not from the highs, from where it sold practically. So and then afterwards we pumped 11.6 to 12%. Similarly, in October itself, what we did is we had a slight impulsive move, slight push up to test the resistance. This is what we lost, so we would just want to test it. And after that, we dumped 4%. 4% is from the levels where we had oversold territory and not from the highs. And after that, we pumped 8.5%. Similarly, what we did in 29th of October, we simply took a liquidity under it. So simply it reversed drastically with like 9.11 to 10%, to be precise. Yeah, almost close to 9.7%. And now we are at November. So practically what I would like to see over here is we have lost a very critical levels and a support practically around 4.98% on the lower term time frame. So what I would like to see here is a small push up for like 4.98%, chop move to 4.98%, and something like this. This is how I envisioned the scenario for the USD DOM. This is how I expect. I mean, a small push up to the resistance, like 4.9 to 5% resistance. We go up there and we start dumping back down to take the liquidity under 4.68%, go down to 4.6, maybe even 4.6 to 4.61. And once we reclaim it, this 4.68, I would be looking for a push up to 5.24%. Practically, because that is a breakdown levels. I mean, after a lot of break a retest, I mean, this is how we ended up. So yeah, I mean, you can expect 9 to 10% move on an upside, which clearly tells me that we have a fair value gap as well, and this is where the fair value gap is. And the similar fair value gap, we also have it on Bitcoin, somewhere around $69K to $70,500 practically. So that's the fair value gap. And again, when Bitcoin simply, or that's what I expect, a USD dominance to reject from here and simply to this will be the wonderful buying opportunity. Bulls really need to hold this, and I would like to see something like this, a drastic dump. I mean, whatever we are watching right now is just a small dump. Actually, it's like a small dump, I would say, very small. But what might come probably is going to be like the biggest dump towards 4%, which means that the next dump, though Ethereum, Bitcoin is going to pump to 80,000 bucks. However, Ethereum is simply going to go nuts with $3,500 to $3,600 move, and that's where the money is. That's where the alts. I mean, I do think this last dump that we are likely going to see on USD DOM, that dump is not for Bitcoin. That dump is simply for basically Ethereum and alts. So practically the 20-25% dump that we will see on the USD DOM is not for Bitcoin in my view. I mean, of course, Bitcoin will pump like 6-7%, 8%, but eventually the majority of the pump or the money is going to happen or coming from alts in my view. This is the last, absolutely the last dump for the USD dominance. If you just look at the monthly and weekly chart, look at the monthly chart, I'll show you. So if you look at the monthly chart, let me just delete or maybe just delete let me just let's have the path. Let me, yeah. And also let me delete the vertical lines. So if you guys feel that FOMO that you are missing out, I think even I am feeling that FOMO actually for missing out, because after all, we all are traders. I mean, we really want to make money out of it. So trust me when I say that the retest will come, it will come. It has to come. And that's where you need to decide what the fuck are you going to do with this. I mean, are you just simply going to stay out of it? Because the retest is going to be like make everyone believe that, oh my god, the top is in, it's a deviation, and we're just more likely going to dump to 60k, 59k, the top is in, and we're just going to go to $29,000 from here. Post is there because the bearish shark is in play, and bearish shark is like a failed breakout. What I mean, it's a failed breakout, but overall, as I mentioned, the next dump, we need this dump on the USD dominance, not for the Bitcoin, but for the alts. Not for the Bitcoin, for ETH and alts, basically. That's where the money is now. So I will be putting more of my money on Ethereum as well as altcoins, and that's how I would like to play, basically. So if you look at the monthly chart, the monthly is still not turned bull, but just look at it, we are still bearish. I mean, for the USD dominance, it's not turned bull, but we are bearish. But what is going to happen? Uh, I try to give the limits. I mean, people wanted to ignore the market entries, and eventually over the night it just pumped 10%. My plan was to catch the 10% move. I mean, we discussed yesterday over the stream when we were at around $2,640 or so, or 45. We knew that this was coming. Simply, I mean, I just wanted a little bit slow price action so that it can sustain the pump. The more you form a stronger base, the more the pump will be sustained. Basically, the price is not going to come to that levels so easily. Ethereum did the opposite. I mean, just simply pumped up without forming a proper base. So there is a chance that it might just simply take all the liquidity, just like a flush. And when that happens, don't get worried about anything. Simply buy whatever the fuck you want to buy. That's it. You don't need any calls. When I say here's the dominance is literally going to push up like 1-2% more, like a bearish retest, buy, play the 6-7% bounce, take everything, exit, and then we wait for a pullback for like 9-10% pullback. There is a possibility, as I mentioned, because H4 USD dominance is likely bottoming. And that's the reason, the overall, pump looks to me like a 5 waves pump. So we need that ABC like a flush. And when you get that flush, go into INJ, go into TIA, go into SUI. For sure, SUI needs to be. You go into Aave, you go into, whatever you want to buy, basically. Just don't touch, I would say coins that are still under. They have still not flipped the range loss. For example, Atom is a too early. I would say still wait for it to flip 5.5. Once it flips, it won't stop. You're still going to catch 5x on Atom. So just wait for those alts to reclaim those levels. So till you don't reclaim, just stay out of it. But the alts that have reclaimed, you should definitely go. So just look at the US dominance of the monthly time frame. The USD dominance, in my view, would be doing something like this. This is going to be like a double bottom sort of thing, maybe even lower like this. But that's it. I mean, after that, we should be pumping up like this. Just give me a moment. I'm getting a call. Okay, so this is going to be good for you guys at Dom. So I think now it's time for to shift our view and to shift our strategy from Bitcoin to probably alts, because I think now the money is in alts in my view. You can look at the ETH Bitcoin. I mentioned that I've longed ETH Bitcoin, and it's going nice actually. It's not parabolic yet. It's still under the resistance. The green box is still your resistance basically. That's your order block, or I would say breaker block, and we are still under that. We have not flipped it. So practically you need this sort of a move to flip, and the only way it can give us that it pumps so good. So we will see. We will see. I mean, I think in case if it wants to have one more push on the downside, I will be very happy to do that. But let's see. I mean, this is what I've got a good position on ETH BTC. Yeah, like I've increased it for like 30%, but still it's really good from my perspective. And I think my target would be, if not, would be around 0.06. Maybe when it can just make new highs like this, and we can just probably go parabolic as well. It all depends. It all depends. So we will see. We will see. But for now, this is what I'm willing to keep this a swing for like next few months. This ETH BTC is going to recover in the next few months. Not necessarily that Ethereum can go parabolic from here to 10k. No, simply it means that Ethereum is going to outperform, and I just want more Bitcoin. That's it. That's what I want. So let's come back to the scalping stream or scalping zone. Basically, what I feel over here is, I think right now I'm watching Bitcoin. I think this is the wave 4 we are holding it. So I'm looking for some scalps on Bitcoin. Basically, how are we going to scalp? This is the good zone, the green zone. So if this is some sort of a 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 4. And this is the bottom. We're going to flip this, go for the breakout, flip it. So we are going to long here with our stop loss under these levels, and we're going to target 77,150. So that is going to give us a very good scalping opportunity over here, and with a very tight stop loss like this for like 0.7%, and we would be aiming for 3-hour setup. So this is a very good setup I'm aiming for. Just waiting for Bitcoin to do something like this, just to flip the green box and then go up. Just in case if we lose this green box, because in case if we lose this lower green box, then it would not be 5 waves. It would be something like a 3 waves move, which means that the move that we are watching right now is irregular expanded flat, clearly. So it's going to be something like this, then. As per our plan, basically. So we would be aiming for then to long Bitcoin somewhere around 0.382 and maybe 0.14. So, but we still have a liquidity. So I think this liquidity will be safe. This will be safe at this point. In case if we break down from here, we break down, we do something like this: 73.7. Bearish retest. That's where we're going to short it for scalp, and we're going to let it ride to previous month or the value area high along with the previous week value area high, and might even retest the previous week POC, and then we long towards the high target of 79k. This perfectly fits and aligns with my USD dominance plan as well. From here, so I think we should be playing a shorts actually, but I just need a breakdown. So because we are the support, the system don't tells me to short. Once it breaks down, we can short it, and this is where the scalp would be. Very tight stop loss above the green box, and we can play it for like 2 hour, clearly 2.3 to 2.2 hour actually. That's what I would be waiting for. These are the two opportunities. Whatever comes first, we'll take it. Ethereum, I think Ethereum will push up. It seems very good actually. If you look at the 5 minutes time frame, and let's just have here, even we have lost the value area high on the Bitcoin practically. So the previous day value area high, and also with the price in the VWAP, and right now we are going to the order block as well as the POC. So I think, as I mentioned, the bear scenario looks good to me with ABC. I mean the lower term time frame bear case. So if we do something like this, sweep up a bearish retest, and then further dump to the bigger OB like this. Might even take the liquidity like this, and then we push up. Yeah, this. So I think I'll be looking for short scalps once we got a breakdown so that we can short it. For longs, I think Ethereum is looking good, but over here, and because I'm seeing irregular expanded flat on the 5 minutes time frame. See, like this. So we are having irregular expanded flat. We just need to, hold up here to 2836. It's a very good flat. A, B, C. That's a very good flat. We hold up here and we can scalp it. I think this is a very good scalp. Let's just check it over here again one more time. ETHUSDT.P. Let's add Ethereum so that we can check whether it's under the VWAP, what are the POC levels, what are the value area and everything, so that we can scalp it. If you look at here, we are still under the VWAP, but we are at the POC basically. The price is holding the POC and the support, which is around 2837. Clearly your invalidation would be under 2815. So I do think that it's a risky, but it's a good scalp actually. I want to take it. And let's check the 5 minutes time frame. Yeah, 5 minutes is losing the RSI practically. So once we reclaim it, it would be nice. But still overall, it's not bad actually. The price action algo. We have a 5 minutes order block with a very inverse pennant. ABC, ABC, B, and so things are looking good. The only issue is RSI actually. The 5 minutes is losing a momentum, Could you check? Walaikum salam, MK. Hey, hi, Rollman. Could you check Guardi network? Yeah, sure, we will. I'll check it. No problem. The 15 minutes time frame is still good, but likely can retest 50% zone, which means that we should be waiting for scalping opportunities on ETH. But still, it looks great to me too long. I don't know. I mean, the only issue is the RSI. That's a little bit lagging. We can do something like this probably, Just push up and take a liquidity and then dump, because you have a good order block on the 15 minutes. That's your order block. The white candle itself is your order block. That's where your orders are. I think I would like to take this scalp. It's a risky one, I know, but I want to take it. I'm just going to risk for the range lows over here with stops under this for a 2-hour setup, 2.2. Okay, so you can manage a risk. In case if he loses 2822, I'll cut off for 0.5 hour loss, and we're looking for another scalp. Okay. TIA is another opportunity that I'm looking for. It just flipped on a daily as well. I mean, very interesting close on the daily. And as I mentioned yesterday, that we have a harmonic, very good engulfing, as well as a morning star, I would say, a very good morning star candle. And I think this is the breaker block. So this is the levels for really we need the as a retest for TI somewhere around 4.78 to 4.778, and that's where we will look for a long opportunity towards 5.9 and maybe even 6.87. So TI is also on my target, on my radar, waiting for it to just give us that flush, basically. Perfect. ETH, I've got in, guys. I got filled on ETH, literally at the range lows. So if you are in, congrats. Just manage the risk. I'm going very low. I'm just risking $200 on this, not much. And because the risk reward is good, we just want to make some tea money, or it's a coffee money, whatever you like it. Mudang is fine. Sui, guys, I honestly would short Sui on the next push, because I think Sui is stopped. Yeah. PA algo, the 15 PA algo 30 minutes. I never tested 30 minutes, but let me just check it. Let me delete the drawings so that chart is a little bit less messier. Um, 30 minutes and price action algo. What do we have? Chalk boss ext. And show fibs over here as well. Yeah, you have a good order block over here. Yeah, and also you got a boss ext and 0.618. So making it is like, but we should not go beyond this. It changes the story overall. But what it also means is that this move can be a regular expanded flat. If we start going back under the green box, this would be A, this would be 1, 2. We would have a dump like this for the wave 3 towards 786, wave 4, wave 5 towards the 30 minutes order block that we have, but we still would be holding above 70 to 351, and then we can push up like this to $779,000. Let's switch on to the 5 minutes time frame. But we are still at support actually, so let's see. We haven't yet lost anything. The levels, so yeah, 1 hour is the same as well. Can we check Litecoin? Stock market parabolic. Stock market will crash the way gold did, and when it crash, nobody will get chance to exit. It will eventually crash. It was 1886 Fibonacci level is my levels where it will reject at 5971. I think it's going perfectly as planned, and nothing changes. Nothing changes. I wanted it to hold these levels, but it just went slightly deeper, but that's fine. That's fine. I'm happy with it. So overall, I think it's just a matter of time. The clock is ticking actually. It's like a ticking time bomb. And the top would be anywhere between $6,000 to $6,600. It's not much of like a bigger gap. It's a very small gap, actually. Very, very small gap for like 11%. That's it. Versus the downside target that we are aiming for from here is like the retest, the way gold did. And I would even say that 32% move on the downside, it would simply just crash. So the way gold did, see gold, what we did on the 4 hours time frame. And this is where it begins in September, and we had a nice impulsive move till 1600 Fibonacci levels, close to 2414, where we shorted it around 2759, 2755, and then we started dumping back down. So practically even SPX, if you look at here, September dump, and this was 2022, of course. So this is the September August dump, and then we started impulsive. If I have to draw the fibs and tell you the exact levels that it will top, it will be like this. You see? For those who are interested in the stock market, for those who are not, you can probably just ignore this analysis. But there are people who trade this thing. I trade indices as well on OctaFX with the real money, not the funded one. Just do something like this. That's it. Probably a chop. Boom. It will dump. Like a $1,000 move on the downside. It's just simply going to wrecked, unfortunately. And we can't help it. But this is coming. And you can clearly see from the RSI. I mean, look at the weekly bearish divergence on the RSI, like a double bearish divergence. Look at the monthly RSI. Look at it. The monthly bear divergence over here, a double bearish divergence on the RSI. And we are already in the overbought territory, so it's coming. The stop loss is 2806.21, and the risk reward is 2.4. Basically, if we are losing the previous quarter, as I mentioned, I'll simply close it for like 0.4 hour. I would not, I would not hold then. But I do think that we are having a good order block, 15 minutes order block. So it makes sense for us to have our stop loss under, 2806. It clearly makes sense. So I think this is a very good scalp in my view. Even though LTF RSI needs a little bit reset, 15 minutes looks good. 15 minutes still looks good. So the USA dominance, slight push up. How much percentage we can expect? Somewhere around 1.9 to 2% max, 1.8 to 1.9%. And if I have to put it for Bitcoin, so Bitcoin is breaking down, which means that the bull case is losing on the lower term time frame, and we are going for a bigger bull case, which would be a regular expanded flag. Meaning from here, 1.9 to 1.8% would put Bitcoin around the 30 minutes order block of 73,125, which means that we need to buy those levels clearly. Would confirm that this is not the end. This is A, B, C, and we are doing a wave C here, irregular expanded flat accumulation, and a throttle to an impulse for like 5 to 6% move on an upside. You see, this $77,000 practically. The target will be this practically. Let's check SPX. We checked Litecoin. You asked Litecoin. My weekly is still not looking that convincing to me, but because there is no clear flip of a RSI 50 levels, but when it does, then you need to FOMO. It's very simple as that. let's just put it this way. Let's have a chart on maybe Binance. Not Bybit. Binance. Yep. So if you checked here, we did not sweep the highs, and we also did not sweep the lows. It's a simple range actually that we are talking about. Very simple range. Just gonna extend it to 100. And there's also an M pattern formation basically. So if you just look at the bigger picture, and if RSI pushes, Litecoin you see, we went to 786 Fibonacci levels and the GP zone is flipped. So what do we want the next thing to happen? Would be the 0.382 flip, which is about to flip. So wait for 77.3 to flip, and once it does, so once we flip it, because we are having a perfect M pattern, you see, M pattern, it's a very good pattern basically. Yeah, M pattern. And once we flip the 77.3 over here, we long, and we can ride till this order block here. Don't expect new all-time highs, okay? But this is what I see. That's a very good ABC actually. We can also, if you use the fib properly, if you draw it, I do think that 1618 to 2414 will fall in this green box. Likely 1414 will, yeah, see, 1414 and 1618. So practically, just let me draw it properly. Yeah. So 1414 is going to be the levels. 1414, 1618 is going to be an impulsive levels for Litecoin. So just wait for it. The monthly is looking good. It's about to flip. But if you look at the weekly levels as well, the weekly RSI is trying to flip the 50% levels, and when it does, then it would mean that you should simply go in, simply buy. It's like going to be an RSR. If you remember, we call RSR bottom and then it just simply pumped up. So that would be kind of a scenario, Holding up the support over here at 2,818. Good. Now let's reclaim the range lows, which would be around the entry of 2,036. Where is Bitcoin? Bitcoin also bouncing from the support, not breaking down. It don't want to break down or what? 30 minutes is still looking good. Let's see. 15 minutes is still looking good. Not breaking down yet. No confirmation so far for a breakdown. Mm, 5 minutes is bottomed. The RSI have reset, and we are having a bullish divergence as you can see, hidden bullish divergence on RSI. And if you look at the 15 minutes time frame, 15 minutes is at support, and we are having a hidden bullish divergence from here, or maybe even from the top. As you can see, the RSI made lower lows, the price did not. It is holding a support right now. So any live trades, that's what I'm discussing, my friend. You don't have patience or what? Gary USDT. What is Gary? I never checked this coin. It's on KuCoin. Shit. What sort of coin is this? Maybe we can check Gate.io. This coin is an ultimate shit coin, actually, I would say. I mean, not a proper price action. Very low, I would say, data that we have. Practically, look at the engulf candle. The white candle formed, immediately got sold off. I think, just going to change it to the normal chart, not the logarithmic one. A very simple way to put this would be, till it don't flip these levels of 939, just don't touch it. Simple as that. You know, just don't touch it. Till we don't flip, don't touch it. That's the only technical analysis perspective I can say. Because once we flip, only then you look for long opportunities, because there is a lot of upside liquidity. The liquidity is here, the double top, you have equal highs around here, so then there will be a lot of liquidity upside. But it is simply in the bear market. So don't touch it right now. In an anticipation, it is going to pump. Wait for a clear flip, then go. Last night, Pepe, ING, and few more other alts pumped 10-12%. We don't want to miss now. Yep, that's what we want. 30 minutes. Yes, we checked. Yes, we longed Ethereum. I long personally Ethereum around 262835. That's what the entry is for 5 minutes time frame. My stop loss is 2806. I think we should be holding up the lows around because that's a very good order block that we have on 13 minutes time frame. And likely this is an irregular expanded flat. I'm not sure, but likely. So I'm just going to risk $200 on this one. You can maybe risk according to your, maybe you can risk 1%, 0.5%, because my risk reward is good. 2.4 RR trade it is going to be. The stop loss is 2806.2. That is going to be the stop loss on Bybit. Binance might plus minus $2-3, not much. ETH is dumping. Yeah, it went to the support, holding up, and 5 minutes RSI looks great, and 15 minutes forming a bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence. So let's see. We are at support right now. Let's see. We got to play some risky scalps because right now the market is in a trending market, and that's how we have to play it. You can't always have risk-free trades if you really want to make good money. But so we just play the levels, you know. And this is a good levels to bid actually. SFYNUSD. I never heard of this coin, but I'm just gonna check it for you. I never heard of this coin. It's what? Synapse. Let's see what it is. What sort of a shit PA this coin is? Damn. Very shitty PA. But if I have to tell you, I mean, you can just simply draw here the support. Okay, if you draw the support, and also let me just see what all liquidity do we have on the upside, and untapped liquidity, because we need that liquidity for the price to see whether we're going to push up. $2 liquidity we have. Currently we are at a support, no doubt we are at support, but we are at a resistance. The RSI is at resistance, so you need a flip over here. Until we don't flip, I would even suggest to probably avoid, because the RSI confluence is turning green, and the cross confluence is turning green on the daily, which means that likely we pump. And how much percent you mentioned? 200%. I think I'm not sure of 200%, but clearly the liquidity is here. So 56 to 57% is a very great opportunity still. A very great opportunity. So I would say wait a little bit more for it to confirm that it has flipped. It is holding the support. And till then, I would just say wait for it. Wait for the support to confirm. If not, then what it's going to do is, testing this support again and again. Once it lost it, reclaim, pump. Now they test it again, thrice, twice, thrice, and this is like fourth time we are testing it again. Because if it loses, then it would just simply go like this. So I think it's a very risky one. So wait for it to hold up here on the weekly as well as the daily, and wait for the 2 consecutive close above. Yes, weekly RSI looks good because we are flipping. We have flipped the RSI based MA, as you can see here, but we still need to push up above 50%. That's where the momentum will start. So wait for it a little bit. Have some patience for a week or so. Ethereum, what is... do you trade platinum? Yes, I have never traded platinum, but I'm intending to trade. I think I discussed platinum in my corner, and I've also posted my plan for palladium, basically. Come on. Palladium. So it was on TVC. Where is my plan? Yeah, here is my plan. If you just simply switch on the log scale chart, Palladium is... I am expecting Palladium to dump towards the 315 levels. That's where I would like to buy Palladium. The demand will increase in my view. You have a previous all-time high, I would say support of 2001 basically. Currently I am in trade of uranium companies. If you remember, I gave it few years back and it's still holding up. That's a good investment in my view. So till we don't reclaim or flip the levels of 1076, I don't find any bullish case for Palladium at this point. What I can see is we do something like this, Palladium, and we take the liquidity inside and we go down 315, hold up, reclaim it like a chop, and then we break out to $10,000 to $15,000. But overall, the next 5 to 10 years, I see Palladium is going to test the 786, 886. And what I see is it's going to pump it up to $12,000 to $15,000, anywhere between those levels. I think I charted Palladium, but I don't know where exactly I charted. Maybe let me just check. Where is my... I think it was on Oanda. I'm not sure. Yeah, here. Look at it. So this is what the plan for the Palladium. We initiated this pump, and I think I compared this chart with somewhere I don't remember, but Palladium should be doing something like this if you really want to reset. The target would be for like next 10-year target for Palladium would be somewhere between 14,000 to $12,000. That would be the target for, Palladium. The only thing is, why I would not like to trade Palladium, because if you look at the weekly time frame over here, just look at everything have started turning red, and RSI also is losing the RSI based MA, and we are having a strong bear divergence which is playing out. Also, just look at the monthly time frame, because when you really want to invest in those sort of an asset, the monthly is not looking that bull at this point. It just simply tells me that, okay, fine, we are breaking out of the support. I mean, this is your support for sure, you see. So let's say this is your support, and you're breaking out of the support, fine, but we need a retest of the support, which means that, you really need a retest. You really need that dump. So that's yeah, early Amazon. Thanks a lot, brother. I think something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it was a wonderful chart actually, and I still think that the dump would happen. But after that, the Palladium is going to skyrocket. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to skyrocket. What events would make it skyrocket? But it's going to. And I've already found a good vendor in Dubai. There are like 3 to 4 traders, or I would say vendors, who work for Palladium. So practically, even if you buy Palladium, just try to ensure physical Palladium, because there are in Dubai very, very few jewelry stores, like the big one, wholesalers, basically, one of the manufacturers. They buy Palladium. They keep Palladium. They buy and sell actually. So don't go overboard. If it just simply dumps to 285, I would just simply buy like maybe 100 kilograms, maybe max 200 kilograms. And just because if you buy more, you won't be able to sell in the market. There is practically no demand in UAE, because in UAE it's all gold. It's not white gold. The Palladium is your white gold, basically. I do think that monthly needs to come down, maybe not to 285, but at least to the support that we have around 450. That would be still nice. So I might just probably look to buy some around 450 as well. It all depends, but still monthly is not looking that convincing to me actually at this point, my friend. Let's check our friend Dot. So I have a spot bags for Dot actually, and I was expecting it to do something like this. So now that we have swept the lows on Dot, basically over here, if you see, I'm in a very good head and shoulder formation over here. So the lows have been taken care of. I think the next plan for the Dot would be to pump from here to 7.6. Let me just see if we have took the lows or not. And that's the reason I'm holding it, because I'm very confident that it's going to pump. And when it does, I think everybody is going to start running behind it. So you see the daily chart, the RSI have flipped the RSI based MA. It's just a matter of time, probably for Dot. Things are turning good for Dot actually. It's too early to say, but it's turning good actually. Also, if you look at from the PA perspective, it's a very good M pattern actually, a very, very good M pattern. You see M, not a perfect one, but an extended M pattern like this. And also I think what Dot might do is simply push up maybe along with ETH, and then maybe sweep the lows to 3.4, reclaim it the way Bitcoin did here, and then push up. So similar to the Bitcoin price action, the early Bitcoin price action, here. Let me show you. here. See? So something like this. So we may, see a push up and just take the liquidity, reclaim it. And once we do, we start up the push like this. Similar to DOT. So it's going to take its own sweet time, but I would not say that simply it can run from here. Yeah, it can run. Only when we start flipping 4.96. So yeah. Two possibilities over here. Maybe we take the lows, reclaim it, and then we run up to take the liquidity on an upside towards 5.7 and later push up to 7.5. That's what I would like to see on the DOT. A very similar thing I'm watching on Atom. Slowly and gradually a rounded bottom formation is happening on an Atom where nobody's talking about. I know that Atom completely looks like it's dead. It's literally dead. I know that. And I'm very well aware of it. But I think as an investment perspective, I think if you're not in here, you should be waiting for it to reclaim the 5.55 levels. If you're not in Atom, you wait for it to reclaim. And once that happens, what you should be doing is simply long it and even buy it, because I think Atom will then probably do something like this. A nasty impulsive move from here, followed by a rejection, a retest, and then further run up. So this is how I think Atom is going to do it. Might even simply pump up from here straight to these levels, like no pullback, simply run up, but it's a way bigger market cap. So I do think Atom is at a very big levels of weekly support and a weekly order block, and we are just accumulating with an M pattern formation. So simply I would suggest that if you're not in, wait for a flip, and once it flips, don't wait for anything, just simply buy. You will make good amount of money, at least 1x you're gonna make minimum, without any risk. You're gonna make it because it's a high probable trade. It would be then. Okay, so ETH decides to take the liquidity on the downside. Seems like we're gonna lose 1 hour on this. Let's wait. 50% RSI. We're still having EMA confluence over here. I don't see a falling wedge, brother. Where do you see a falling wedge? I mean, falling wedge like this? I don't know, man. Are you considering this as a falling wedge? But this is not a falling wedge, but it's more like a bull flag. It's a kind of a flag actually. Bitcoin don't want to break down. It's reclaiming the green box, you see. There is practically no confirmation whatsoever whether we should long or short it. It's indecision at this point. Even the M15, no engulfing candle. So we're gonna long TIA, guys, on this red box, as I mentioned. We surely want to long it, because I do think that it's going to have one more push up, because the liquidity is clearly here at 5.4 and 5.5. So you see the liquidity. These are the equal highs that we have. Perfect equal highs. This very good equal highs. So I think TIA should be doing something like this. We should be buying it. This is where we buy, and our invalidation will be under 4.585. So it's going to give us a good bounce actually. Sol, guys, same plan. I know that you guys are too excited for the Solana, but I'm sorry to say that I think it's going to retest the 160 levels in some point, uh, when 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 USA dominant start, giving us that uh, pump, as I mentioned, from here to 5.24%, the 11% pump, I think, is going to give us that bounce. I don't know. I mean, the only opportunity I saw is ETH. I don't see any other opportunity at this point. Everything looks to me like topping out. 5 waves over here clearly, so I can't just long it here. The best way to long FET would be around 1.32 to $1.3 levels. That's a good support for some scalps, but not here. So I would not trade FET. Aave is at resistance. Can't simply long here blindly, because total is like finishing the 5 waves, or it's almost done. Just need ETH to finish its 5th wave, hopefully, before it stops out. Gold, how many of you guys took a short for gold? I'm feeling so good about it. With the gold printed heavy, guys, it was a good swing with more than 30 lot size, and it did a very nice money actually. Already I've booked close to 50% gains, and I've moved my stops and profits around 2729, because I do think now that this is the resistance. So 2721 is your resistance, and even in future we test it, it would be somewhere around 2700, 2700 to 2707. This is where we're going to test it. So overall, I think gold is done for good actually, and I think today is FOMC. So today's FOMC, right? So I think the volatility is going to kick in today. November 7th. Yeah, we have a fund rate. Yeah, and basically the expectation is 0.25 bips. But just imagine if we get a 50 bips rate cut, it would be very, very nice actually. So the 50 bips rate cut would be damn good in my view. It would be bullish actually. But if it's just like 25 bips, which means that it's priced in, it won't have any major impact actually. So we have the in the evening, 11 p.m. Dubai time, basically. It's almost 12 hours from now. It stopped me, guys, for 1 hour. $200 loss for me. Let's wait for the new scalp opportunity. Very much oversold. It needs to give the bounce. You have H1, M15, or the block over here. Let's just draw some fibs. From here, this was your lows. So if you draw the fibs, 2766 to 0.5. Yeah, this is practically the levels. I mean, this is the order block, but this is where we can touch the levels and we can bounce here, this whole zone, which also coincide with our hard-term time frame levels. You see, I mean, we got stopped out under the liquidity because that was the good levels, and the price is just going nuts down basically. and Bitcoin is not even moving. It did not even moved. How much? It just moved 28%, 0.28%, and ETH is just rejection, 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 good rejection. Seems like the flush is coming. Be ready, guys, to buy the dip slightly more to 4.995 to 5% levels. Practically this zone. This retest is where we should be longing actually. Here. This is where we long now. We wait a bit. We have some patience actually because Bitcoin did not even started dumping. If it starts dumping, it's going to take everything along with it. So just wait for it. Unlucky for me that I got stopped. I did not got filled on my Bitcoin short position. Very, very much, I would say. I don't know. I mean, how did I miss it? 76,433. It did filled on Coinbase, but I don't trade on Coinbase, so it don't make sense. Yeah, the dollar index is strong. It was supposed to be because that's the only way we get the dump on the gold. That's the only way. You need a confidence. I mean, Trump won, and Trump won. So practically, it means that people are having a hell lot of confidence on him, and the policies. No. ETH is not going 5K, my friend. It's not going 5K. I wouldn't like to sell any hopium to you, not to anyone. Just play the levels because I think ETH is forming a very big bullish triangle actually. Just look at this triangle. I mean, nobody's talking about the way XRP did. Practically, I mean, this is the very big bull triangle actually. And that's what ETH is. So practically 3,550 to 3,560 is what I think max ETH will do, in my view, max. And after which I would like to see ETH dumping back down to 1,200 to 1,222. We need a little bit more accumulation, a longer period of accumulation for ETH. And after which we can just simply pump it up to $10,000. The bigger the accumulation, the more bigger the volatile the pump would be. But for now, I think we need that. It can even go for alternative, flat. Maybe we can sweep the lows one more time, go to the green box, and then we can pump up like this. Possibility is always high. That's an alternative. So you see, I mean, this is what the idea hold the time. I mean, this was my plan since the beginning. So I don't think 5K from here, my friend, unless we go for irregular expanded flat. Irregular expanded flat meaning that we just sweep the highs, collapse, and dump. It's going to be like this. It's going to be like a big sell-off. But for me, I mean, for now, I think irregular expanded flat is less viable. Only and only if we start flipping 3,596. Let's say $3,600. Only then we can aim for $5,300. Because still there is a $1,500 gap, $500 to $800 gap between those numbers, and we can make good money out of it. So I would simply would not give you any hopium on this one. So yeah. For ETH, 2,716 now, bro. I mean, I don't really think that we should be dumping that down for ETH. I mean, because if you look at the heart and time frame, let me just show you. Yeah, of course, this is the Coinbase chart, but yeah, I mean, the levels are plus minus something, maybe $4 or $5, not much. So this is the support. I mean, you have flipped the previous levels. You really want 2,716.5 to hold. That's the end game actually. So hence I think it needs to hold this green box. This green box is like a do or die for ETH. So I think if you want to bid, this is the green box where we should be bidding actually. And the stop loss should be under, $2,640. This is where the stop loss would be. Well, I would not be putting the limits. I would simply go market once we go here. I just want to see the little bit reaction over there, and then we go in. Because from the price action perspective, if you look at the 4 hours time over here, the volume is pretty much good. This is your wave 1, wave 2, and we got a massive wave 3. So if this is wave 3, yeah, this has to be the wave 4, like a retest of 2,700. Can even go to 2,696, and then a little bit accumulation happens, chop chop chop, and then we push up one more time for the 5th wave towards 2,940. 2,635, around this 786 Fibonacci levels, you mean? This 0.786, it would be too deep, and it will also mean, bro, that we are losing this support. This was like a deviation, another deviation, and might end very badly actually if we lose it, very much. If we simply lose this green box, I would not bid ETH at that point of time. I would wait for it to reclaim it on a safer note so that I can make good RR. So this box now is a must hold for ETH, in my view. This is just my view, probably. So this green box is a must hold. 2,700 is a must hold. We have a 0.382 fib. We have an order block. So yeah, we need to hold this at any cost. Any cost, we need to hold it. And I think it will hold actually. Look at this Bitcoin. I don't know what the fuck is it doing on the lowest time frame. Either pump it or dump it. Finish it. I think we still have 12 hours to go. Moodang. I need a scalp actually. Another scalp. We need to make 2 to 3 hours today at least. I was having eyes on one of the alt. It did reef kind of thing. If you remember, reef. What it did was simply a pump and then it dumped, right? In morning, I was watching one alt actually. The alt name was UX Link. This was the alt actually, UX Link. I don't know how many of you have heard of it. It was suddenly just pumped up so hard, and I was like, "What the hell is happening with this coin?" I mean, out of nowhere, it just simply pumped up, like in just a single day. In one day, I would say, it pumped almost 100%. I was like, what the hell is happening with this coin? And if you look at the 5 minutes time frame over here, this is where things starts getting interesting. I really wanted to give this short. Only reason was the bad divergence. So this was the 5 minutes chart, and the price made higher highs, whereas it did not make, the RSI made lower highs. And that was the primary reason. I was like, this is a clear-cut short, clear short. The only problem for me was, where do I put the stop loss? I mean, where would you put it? Even I draw the fibs from here, and it was showing me that we should be putting our stop loss above 1618. You know, this was the setup, and we should be shorting around 1414. So I was like, okay, let it just slightly push to 1.22 so that we can short it. And it just started dumping. It just went nuts for like 40% dump. Wow, that was a very bad candle actually. But I just wanted that it could have been a very good risk reward on this one. Sometimes, the 5 minutes time frame divergences plays a lot actually, where you should be focusing on when we are having getting such an ultra price action. This 5 minutes can save you actually. I played this many times on XRP and worked like charm. One more alt. Let's check it. Do we have anything? Playing the 5 minutes chart for now. If this is ABC, fine. But if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we should not be going beyond 0.5 or even 0.618. Because if we go above 618, that is 2825, and we reclaim it, it would mean that we have to long. We will re-long it then. So that's going to be your breakout trade. So that's your trend line. Okay. We are still holding the value area low, and then we are having a mid support. This is the order block that we have. And we also have previous month highs around 2769. The majority of the support is here actually. That's what Arbab was mentioning. You see a lot of order block around these levels on 1 hour, and even let's see on 15 minutes. Sorry, on 1 hour also we have an order block, which is at 2,700, and the 2,700 also have the value area high, so making it a good support. But then the 1 hour support is at previous month highs. So practically speaking, for a scalp, this can be good levels. 2768. So this can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down and breakout A, B, C, like a breakout. Come on, Bitcoin, do something. When we are in the bull run, one of the price action that you guys need to understand is you will see lot of alts will do something like this. What they're going to do is, whenever you see any alt that have already flipped EMA 200 on the daily, first condition is EMA 200 on the daily, bullish. Second condition, EMA 100 on the weekly, very bullish, which means that dips are for buying. And the third condition is, whenever you see any alt out of nowhere pumps and then we dump like this in a zigzag, but suddenly a single candle takes out the previous highs, and then we reject, come back down inside this, chop, and we are holding these lows. We don't sweep it. We reclaim the equilibrium. Basically, this is a range highs. this is your range lows, and the mid level, basically this is your equilibrium. So once it reclaims, you long it here with your stops under, because it will continue and it is going to pump like this. It's going to be way, way, way bigger than you think. You know? Yeah. INJ we checked. So this is what you need to keep in mind. Any alts that you see this sort of pattern formation is the blind long. It's going to make you good amount of money. My plan for INJ is this, my friend. It's still going to the resistance till here. Actually, this is. I feel so terrible about INJ actually, and we literally caught the bottom. We sold the bottom for like 5% loss, and for like almost 0.95 R. But it's okay. It's okay. We'll make it back. I promise you, I'll make you back, and more maybe, because the target is not 5%. To make 5%, the target is to make like 100%. Because what if INJ, look at the daily time frame, what if INJ is simply in the wave 4 actually, you know, if, just simply the wave 4. Look at this chart. So this is wave 1, this is wave 2 accumulation, wave 3, and this is wave 4, and this is like some sort of a flat. And once you break out, what if it just pumps up like this for the wave 5 to 74, maybe $100, and then we go for the bear market like this to this support, basically this box. So you know, I will be bidding again INJ. I'll take another 5% risk on this one, as this is really have the potential in my view. At least even if it's not 75, 36 is still good. So it would be still 70-80% gains, maybe 90% as well, depends. Okay, let's connect probably in few. I mean, let's see what BTC does here. The plan is still same, guys, and you know, once we reclaim this, let's say we reclaim this, we long here with our stop loss under 74,837, and we go for a push up like this to 77k. So if we reclaim it, and if you don't reclaim it, rejection mean that we dump, we short here again, and we're going to ride it till $73,000. That's where we're going to long everything again, with our take profit targets of $78,000, $79,000 then. Okay, so that's the plan for Bitcoin. Ethereum, I still see there are two possibilities. Either the bottom is in, if you look at, there are two possibilities. The bottom might be in with ABC probability, because we went way under 1618. You see, way under 1618. Practically the 1618 was around 2,813, and we went way under it. So either this is ABC, this is A, this is B, and the bottom is in, wave C is in, or this is 5 waves, and we should not be going above 2,818. Okay, so we should be rejecting like this one more time, finish the 5th wave, then A, breakout, B, retest, and then C, something like this. So this is how, you know, the kind of confirmations we want. You flip this, you break out, flip, we flip it up, then it would mean that this is the bottom, and that's your wave 1, wave 2, and we are likely going to push up for 3, 4, 5 to $2,970, $2,980. So if you know you really want to trade, two ways of doing it. I'm just showing you the way of scalping, how you scalp with confirmation. If it flips, breaks out, you will get a accumulation, and we are going to hold this lows. Practically 2,806 will be held as a support. We should not be going under it, and you can long there with a very tight stop loss on 2,806, and we can ride like this. That's what we should do. However, if you do reject, wait for it, come back down one more time, like for the fifth wave, and then it's going to be A, B, C breakout. We short it, we go to the green box, and then we long big to ride even more up higher, So that's the plan, guys. Let's wait for the trigger. Whatever comes, we're going to take. If it is long or short, for both ETH and Bitcoin. One more thing I want to tell you lastly is we have got a chalk on others. It's a very good chalk. So hence, normally after the chalk, we get a pullback to 0.5, maybe even to 0.618, but we do definitely get a pullback. And once we get the pullback, you don't miss it. You long. Similarly, we are at a resistance right now. Total 3 is at resistance. We have not yet flipped, and we need to see how we are going to close daily, because you really don't want to see a swing failure pattern on total 3 actually. And similarly, total 2 is also at resistance on the daily time frame. Now on the 4 hours time frame, it feels like we will test as a support 970 billion basically. And if you hold, definitely a push is going to happen around $1 trillion. So still good opportunity to scalp. USD dominance, a push up to the green box is where the scalping opportunity comes. Yeah, the green box push, we long with a very tight stop loss above this wicks you're watching. And the take profit targets would be 5 to 6% move on the downside, because there is a nice liquidity pool. So maybe even 8% move on the downside, depends. Various levels will do 8%, many might do just 5%. It all depends. But this is a clean breakdown of the USD dominance, a very clean breakdown. And I'm expecting like a bearish retest, dump further, take this liquidity, and then from there a bearish retest of 5.24%, and then further dump from there. We're also going to go nuts in my view. So that's the plan for now. That's what I have. Let's play this way. Okay, that's all for now, and let's connect probably in the evening during the FOMC. See ya guys, take care.